Hello, my name is Connor, and this is my 7th grade Calvert Science Fair project. What comes to mind when you hear the word pesticide? Pesticides are very useful tools to farmers because they kill pests such as weeds or insects that would hurt crops. Unfortunately, if a field dosed with pesticides is near a lake, river, or other body of fresh water, the pesticides could leach into the water. I wondered if pesticides killed freshwater algae because if they did, other underwater wildlife could die as well. My hypothesis was that the more pesticides were added to water, the less freshwater algae would thrive. You can see my hypothesis here on the poster. The first step in performing my experiment is gathering the materials. My materials are also listed here. To perform my experiment, you'll need the following materials: a pitcher of water with algae in it, 3 glass jars with lids, 3 small square pieces of paper, a black marker that makes a thick line, tape, a measuring cup, a petri dish, a syringe, a pesticide. I use 7, available at any gardening store, a pair of safety goggles, and a pair of gloves. Before performing the experiment, write A, B, and C on the 3 small square pieces of paper using the thick black marker. Tape the paper to the jars. It should look something like this. The second step in my experiment is performing the procedure. The procedure is here on my poster. First, pour 175 milliliters of the algae water from the pitcher into the measuring cup. Make sure you include some of the algae. Next, pour the water in the measuring cup into jar A. Repeat this for all 3 jars. Next, pick up 2 milliliters of the pesticide with the syringe. Put this pesticide into jar A. Now, put 1 milliliter of the pesticide in the petri dish into jar B. Put no pesticide in jar C. Finally, place the jars in a sunny location and observe them for 1 week. This is what my algae looked like after 1 week. Jar A with 2 milliliters, or the recommended concentration for the pesticide. Jar B with 1 milliliter, or half the recommended concentration. Jar C with no pesticide. As you can see, my hypothesis was correct. There was a dramatic difference in the appearance and health of the algae between the jars with pesticide and the jar without. Even at half concentration, the pesticide made the algae look black and dead. I've charted the changes in the algae in my 3 jars. The chart has a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 representing healthy algae and 0 representing black and unhealthy algae. The scale runs along the y-axis of the chart. Jar A, which is the blue line that runs almost diagonally, with the recommended concentration of the pesticide, was black and nasty by the end of the week. Jar B, with half concentration, was only slightly better. Jar B is the pink line here. Jar C with no pesticide looked just the same as the day I put it in. Jar C runs along the top, and you can see it didn't change at all during the period. Algae is at the bottom of the food chain and also provides Earth with much of the oxygen necessary for life. If enough pesticides washed into the world's freshwater lakes and streams, it could kill the algae, which would in turn affect everything above it on the food chain. Wouldn't it be horrible if all the algae on the planet looked like that in my experiment?